Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Amber Unfiltered. So first of all, y'all about to eat me up because I swear that I told y'all I was done recording and I just can't stay away. Like I was doing so good. I was like, girl, I didn't even get through a whole week of no recording. Like I swear, I promise y'all, I thought I was taking a break, but something was like, you can still record, but maybe just not as high of a volume. I feel like I haven't been keeping up with like promoting it. I've been so drained. I just am like so busy with PT, writing, working, just all the health things, and just life be life. And life is kicking my ass right now, if I'm being real with you guys. But for some reason, I felt it on my spirit or felt called to speak on this because I've been seeing a lot of videos about it, and I just been seeing so many crazy stories go around about celebrities that I was like, bro, I have to talk about it. So the devil is a lie, or I guess I'm a liar a little bit. Not a liar, but you know what I'm trying to say. I told a lie, but anyway, I just can't seem to stay away. I miss you guys. I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a good New Year's. I hope you guys were safe. I hope you got home safely because I know there are some of us that unfortunately don't make it home. I wanted to talk to you guys about celebrities like abusing their power, but I also kind of wanted to touch on like celebrities like and their bad behavior and how we should kind of look past the image that is being presented to us and kind of think more critically when we're looking at these public figures and these people that are in the limelight or that are very visible. But before I do that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, if you want to cash out me at Amber Unfiltered Show, that'd be greatly appreciated. So I'm not a liar, but I couldn't resist. I had to talk about it. I was watching Jessie Woo do a breakdown of why she thought Tyler Perry's lawsuit was similar to Will Smith's, as well as Donnie McClurkin, who we know is a legendary gospel singer. When I was watching her video, one of two things crossed my mind. The first one was that I believed the people, the victims. I believe the victims. I believe the people that bravely came forward. I believe that the person in power did exactly what the victim said. I don't know why my discernment and my intuition is really on point. And I was like, it just sounds like something that they would do because there's been a history, a documented history that's been long ignored because they're powerful, because they're wealthy, and because they're well loved and they're worshiped basically by the general public, especially the Black community at large. Number two, I was like, that must be so difficult to come forward because you're almost like a small fry or a small fish in a big pond, and this celebrity or this public figure, it's kind of like your word against theirs. And I was like, that must be terrifying. And I was like, I couldn't imagine being in that position. Like, could you imagine trying to work and someone does something to prevent that, to prevent you from having a safe work environment and a safe work experience? And I've definitely experienced that. Maybe not the same type of abuse, but I've definitely dealt with a lot of men abusing their power and making passes at me and being very sexual. That is just what it is, unfortunately. And that took a toll on me because I was always scared. I was always in fear of my job. I was in fear of how I made money. I was in fear of being retaliated against. There's so many instances I could tell you, and it would make me sick to my stomach to the point like I did not want to go to work. So I can't imagine being on a higher level or in a different industry and the same thing happening. But then you have someone who has way more access than you, someone who has way more resources, way more money, way more connections. Like, that must be terrifying. So first and foremost, I want to say I'm so sorry to the victims. I'm so sorry that this happened to you. And secondly, I hope that they get what they deserve. I was watching a video last night while I was cooking about Will Smith's lawsuit. I'm pretty sure you guys know, but if you don't, I'll kind of briefly touch on it. I have a USA Today article pulled up. This video is probably going to be long. I'm probably going to say some shit y'all don't like. I'm sorry. I'm just very honest and I feel very passionate about this topic. But I also feel like pushed or called. Like I said, I feel like God is like nudging me to say something or to speak up about it. Like, this is the thing that I'm very passionate about. I don't speak on it often, but I do have some strong feelings that are probably in opposition with the consensus, and that's totally fine. Any crazy comments or negative comments will be deleted and you will be blocked. Sorry, not sorry. Okay, so let's get into the article. It says Will Smith sued by tour violinist for sexual harassment retaliation. And this came out on January 1st. And I was like, damn, we can't have nothing nice. I was like, we can't start the new year off without a bang. I was like, can we have a low-key, calm new year? Another thing I said to my husband, I think I said this to my husband last night too. I was like, bro, last year, the beginning of the year was crazy too. We had like so many celebrity deaths. We had, unfortunately, all those planes going down, all those beautiful souls lost, dying with their, like, whole families being like torn apart. I was just like, can we have one new year where it's just chill? Like, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, and rest in peace to those families and to those loved ones who are still dealing with the loss and grieving, because grief never goes away. I think it's just you learn to live with it, unfortunately. Okay. You know what? I'm sorry. I see a video that says Stranger Things fans hold candlelight vigil in real life Hawkins. That's a little bit too much. I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan, but I'm not on that type of level. That's a little bit doing too much. Okay, so it says Will Smith is being sued by a violinist who accused the actor of firing him for reporting a sexual assault while on his tour. Brian King Joseph is suing Smith and his company, Treyball Studios Management, for wrongfully terminating him after a March incident in Las Vegas on the rapper's Based on a True Story 2025 tour. Also, I'm about to say something really crazy. Who the fuck is listening to Will Smith in 2025? Like, come on now. And I was telling my husband about this story. He actually made a really good point. He was like, I think Will Smith is kind of like full of shit. And I was like, I kind of feel like that too. I remember growing up, I'm about to say some really wild shit. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just going, the show is called Amber Unfiltered for a reason. I'm totally going unfiltered today. Like, I just don't give a fuck. Like, I do, but I don't. I more so care about the victims than I do the public figure. But anyway, I remember growing up how much Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith were put on a pedestal, especially in our community. And I never fuck with it. I never believe or buy into the hype when a couple is pushed up here and they're almost like the golden standard or the standard. I just feel like that's really dangerous. I feel like that's also problematic because what they present is not who they are behind closed doors. And I think that's going to be a recurring theme that I'm going to discuss or touch on in this video. But I never bought into it. I always felt like there was something off. I remember there had been rumors for years about like them having an open marriage and Will kind of dipping and dabbling with men, and this is alleged, but I just didn't have a good feeling. I was like, energetically, I was like, something is off. I was like, I can't put my finger on it. This is probably going to be another taboo opinion. I kind of feel the same way about Beyonce and Jay-Z. It was the same thing with them. They were like held up to this standard, and it's like, to me, they almost feel unattainable. They almost feel like not even human at that point when we make them gods. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of already have some maybe potential bias, but I think that Will Smith is talented, but I'm not buying into like this whole motivational clean cut. Like, I just feel like the actions like behind, or the person behind closed doors is not who we see in public. And I think that's what I was picking up on a lot of the times. But anyways, let me move past that. So it says, for wrongfully terminating him after a March incident in Las Vegas on the rapper's Based on a True Story 2025 tour. Oh, what I meant to say too, I forgot. My husband said that he felt like Will Smith was on a rebrand following the Chris Rock incident, and then him being cast out of the Academies or the Oscars or whatever for like 10 years, and basically having to start his career over after 30 years of little to no scandal. Like, he had some scandals, but they were kind of cleaned up, you know, rather quickly. He had a pretty extensive catalog. But I was like, I definitely agree. I was like, it just feels very forced. It feels like, he said something else. He was like, I've seen like commercials or ads or clips or whatever of Will Smith doing like nature dogs, like voicing over those and things like that. And I was like, that's not his normal brand. But it's like he's trying to push himself back out into the public eye as like this wholesome, like down to earth, like I'm like you, just like you type of guy. And it's like, that's not real. That's not genuine. That's disingenuous. You know what I'm saying? It almost reminds me of Jonathan Majors trying to rebrand and using the Black community, especially Black women, to build himself up. But anyways, I just was like, I'm not really buying it. I kind of was already on the fence about Will Smith, and then when he did the Chris Rock thing, that really solidified it for me. I did love The Fresh Prince. That was one of my favorite shows growing up, and I would love to watch the reruns as an adult. But now I'm quit cold turkey. Like, I was like, I'm done with him. Also, I feel like his wife gets the side eye too, because she be saying and doing some really problematic things, and I'm like, I can't. I was like, when you're a married couple, you cannot be airing out all your dirty laundry like that. You can share stories and you can share things that can maybe benefit other people, like through healing or through teaching, but I think some stuff should remain in-house. And I just feel like she makes it a point to humiliate her husband. Not to blame her, but I just think that she is a little bit too open. And again, she kind of gives like, I'm holistic, I'm peaceful, like she presents a certain way, but I don't feel like it lines up. And her actions kind of seem, I don't want to say malicious, they don't quite align. I don't know if that makes any sense. But anyway, let me stop getting off topic. So I kind of, again, like I said, I kind of already given him the side eye just based on different things. But anyway, So it says, according to a civil complaint filed Wednesday, December 31st, in a Los Angeles court, the musician claims he returned to his hotel room, booked by Smith's company, to find someone had entered and left a sexual message, wipes, a beer bottle, HIV medication with another person's name on it, and hospital discharge paperwork belonging to another person. Joseph said the note read, "Brian, I'll be back later, 5:30, just us, drawn heart," and was signed Stone F. I don't know what that means. Joseph said he reported the situation to hotel security as well as tour management, who accused him of lying and blamed him for the incident. He said he was fired days later, though management told him the tour was moving in a different direction. He said another He said another violinist was quickly hired in his place, which he claims is proof he was not fired for pretextual reasons. The violinist lawsuit further alleges that Smith had been grooming and priming him for further sexual exploitation since meeting in November 2024, given they began spending additional time alone in the months before the tour. Joseph claims Smith at one point commented, "You and I have such a special connection that I don't have with anyone else." He also notes an incident in which he alleges tour management suspiciously lost his bag, which included his room key. Oh, God. The sequence of events and circumstances of the hotel intrusion all point to a pattern of predatory behavior rather than an isolated incident, Joseph claims. That's devastating. Joseph is suing. I skipped a little bit. I think I skipped like one paragraph. Joseph is suing for retaliation, wrongful termination, intimidation, and sexual harassment, and is seeking compensation for personal and financial damages. The musician's lawsuit claims he made significant financial investments in preparation for the tour, which ran from July to early September. He also says that as a result of the incident and firing, he now suffers from major physiological damage and PTSD. And I believe him. I totally believe him. I don't think he's lying. I want to go back to something that was said in this article that said the violinist lawsuit further alleges that Smith had been grooming and priming him for further sexual exploitation given since meeting in November 2024, given they began spending additional time alone. And I think in Jessie Woo's video, she said that Will Smith had been inviting him to his house alone. Now, I'm not victim blaming by any means. I was trying to, when I was talking to my husband about this last night, I was trying to put myself in Brian Joseph King's shoes. And I was like, could you imagine just being like a regular person? Like, he has a talent, he has a gift, right? And he's trying to put himself on. He probably already was on, but this was probably a huge opportunity for him, right? So if we just take a second to empathize or look at the situation from a different lens or angle, I'm like, could you imagine me? I actually said this example to my husband last night. I was like, could you imagine me running into Beyonce on the street? Like, that's not an everyday occurrence. That's not a common occurrence. So that must be so intriguing, and that must feel like so flattering that not only do they like you enough to hire you and to employ you and to put money in your pocket to help you put food on the table. Two, they want to hang out with you. They like you as a person, and they're inviting you into their intimate space. I was like, I think the thing is, when it kind of reminded me of Blink Twice, and I also said that to my husband, like the access and proximity Frida wanted to Slater King, which was Channing Tatum's character. Like, it's a once in a lifetime chance that you would rub elbows with someone like that or cross paths with someone like that. So you're probably not thinking anything of it, and you probably wanting to network, you probably wanted to connect with other creatives. But I think for me, like I told you guys in so many videos recently, I have really big boundaries, and I don't think it's appropriate to be spending time alone with your employer. Now, if it's a group setting, that's one thing. If it's a group outing, that's one thing. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever been alone with any of my bosses outside of a work setting or like a restaurant, like a team lunch, a team dinner, a team happy hour. I would never be caught dead going to my manager's house, going to my boss's house, going to my employer's house, whether you're my indirect or direct manager, supervisor, leadership, whatever you want to call it. I just think we have to have a little bit more discernment and a little bit more boundaries, because I wouldn't feel right about that, because you could do anything to me and nobody would know. And two, like, I think that was somewhat to an extent, I don't even want to say somewhat to an extent, that was grooming and priming. You're building him up, you're spending that time with him, you're placing emphasis and special attention and time to him. It almost reminds me of that movie Lurker that I just did a review for you guys on. If you have not watched that movie, please give it a chance, because it kind of touches on this very topic, like boundaries, access, what you will or won't do. And I think our logic tends to go out the window when you have someone of this stature or this magnitude in your orbit. Like you're not thinking. You're so in awe by like their star, their fame, their, just them, their essence. And like if we think about it, this is probably someone this young man has grown up watching. He probably, maybe to an extent, wanted to be like him. Maybe saw him as like a father figure or like an uncle. You know what I'm saying? Like he probably saw himself in Will Smith. He might have seen like some kinship or some familial type of bond. And then the whole you and I have such a special connection that I don't have with anyone else. That's a red flag to me, because he's almost worshiping the worshipee. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, it kind of reminds me, it's like an imbalance in power. Like the power dynamic shifts here, because he's now trying to make them seem as equals, and they're equals in the sense of them both being human beings, but not equals in the power, the access, the wealth that Will Smith has. Not to say Brian Joseph King can't be successful, or maybe was not already successful prior to this collaboration or this working relationship, but I'm just saying, like, he's a regular guy. He's a musician. He's talented enough that he's getting looks from somebody who's an A-lister and has been around, has had a well tenured career, a 30-40 year long career. So I don't know. I just think that was a little bit problematic. And again, I'm not blaming Brian Joseph King. I'm just saying it must be so hard to say no to, because I think celebrities or some public figures or stars are very persistent, and they probably make you feel good. They probably make you feel special. They probably make you feel valued. But to me, I don't need someone stroking my ego. I don't need someone making comments like this, because I am secure enough in myself. And again, I have insecurities, but I'm secure enough and I know myself enough to know that I would never be in this situation, because I can't do it. Like I told y'all in my After the Hunt video, which is a film, I was like, I had a professor who wanted to connect and build a friendship, and I tried, and it wasn't for me. But at the beginning of After the Hunt, Ayo Edebiri's character is in her professor, played by Julia Roberts' house. Like, it wasn't just her by herself, it was other students. It was kind of like a meeting of the minds, like a happy hour type of situation with like a catered dinner or whatever. I'm not sure if I would be in my professor's house, because I need to see you in just that light. Not that you're above me, not that you're like, in a sense, it's like an authority figure, but it's like I'm kind of like, I don't want to say you're subordinate, but it's just like, I can only see you in that one way. I can only see you in that one lens. Yes, you're a whole person. You have a whole life. You have people you care about. You have trials and tribulations just like the next person. But I think it'll be hard for me, because the relationship I met you at, there's a bit of a power structure, or there's a line. That's what I really want to say. I just can't cross that line. I think for me, morally, I cannot cross that line. Ethically, I cannot cross that line. Principle wise, I cannot cross that line, because it just feels weird. Like I told you, I tried to become friends with my theater professor, and it was a total bust. And not to shit on her or anything like that. She's a lovely human being, but I just didn't, it felt forced, and it felt uncomfortable to me, because I was like, I only know you in the classroom, and I wanted to keep it in the classroom, but I was willing to try something different. And I thought she could give me some type of mentorship or some type of pointing me in the right direction as far as my career. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I saw her, I think, more as a mentor and more as like someone to aspire to be like, or in terms of like pursuing creative interests and creative endeavors. But I was like, I should have just kept it at pupil professor, or student teacher, whatever you want to call it. And again, I'm not blaming this young man. It must have been so exciting, so thrilling. But I think in being alone like that, nobody's policing Will Smith's actions. He can do whatever, whenever, and nobody's going to check him. That's the thing. These people are so unchecked, and they probably have a lot of yes people around them. Even if they don't, what happens when you're one-on-one? Anything can go. You're in their territory. You're in their domain. So you're going to probably do things you wouldn't normally do to impress and to keep that person in your circle and to have that connection. That's a powerful connection to have. Take away the abuse of power. Take away, past incidents, past history. Will Smith is a powerful person. I've never met anybody who's that powerful in my life. Like, I can't imagine what that must be like. But yeah, so that one bothered me. There's a couple of different ones I wanted to talk about. I also watched Jessie Woo. She did a video. I watched it earlier today, like a couple of hours ago. She did a video on Stephon Diggs, Cardi B's boyfriend. And I'm so disappointed in Cardi, but I'm not surprised by her. Nothing that she does surprises me. I was really pissed that she didn't just go quiet. The problem that I have with her, I have quite a few, but the main issue I have with her is she goes online too much. I'm like, you need to stop running your mouth online. You need to stop tweeting your feelings. You need to stop getting in your feelings. The whole world and the whole internet does not need to know how you feel, where you stand. We know you're going to pick that man over that woman. When I was listening to Jessie Woo's video, because Stefon Diggs' chef is a female chef, or former chef, she is suing him because he put hands on her and didn't pay her for her work. And I feel like that's really fucked up. And I was thinking too, I was like, if I hear a situation like this and I'm dating a man, I'm running. I'm going to take that other woman's side. Unless it's a guy I know that has great character. But historically, I feel like Stefon Diggs hasn't shown that he has great character. I mean, he's had multiple women pregnant at the same time. He has a reputation for being a ladies' man. The thing is, I think this is another thing I want to touch on. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place because I have so many thoughts. The thing is, a lot of the times these public figures excel in their craft, whether that's sports, whether that's acting, whether that's modeling, singing, whatever the medium, whatever the craft or the industry is. But they're off, their behavior outside of that craft is really telling, is really problematic. And I think that's why I wanted to make this video, because I was like, you have to carry yourself with grace, professionalism, and humility when you're not. I guess you don't have to. You can do whatever you want. You have money, you have access, you can go wherever, you can do whatever. The sky is not even the limit for you. The goddamn galaxy isn't even the limit for you if you really think about it. But I was like, for me, if I'm a public figure, I'm moving accordingly. When I'm not in my craft, when I'm not in my line of work or doing that job that I'm paid so handsomely for, I'm going to move accordingly. I don't want to have a string of lawsuits. I don't want to have a bad reputation, because once that bad reputation hits, it's hard to get rid of. It's like a stain. You can't get it out. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, but I just hate the fact that Cardi goes online. She feels the need to defend. Like, I would have just let him handle it, because that's his problem. Yes, she's involved with him. Yes, she's tied to him because she has a child with him. But I'm like, that lawsuit has nothing to do with her, in my honest opinion. Like, again, if a man was doing shit like this and I heard this, I would dump him immediately. Like, first of all, I wouldn't even be dating a man like this, because it's clear he can't keep his dick in his pants. And two, he just seems, I don't know, like he kind of has like that untouchable mentality. Just, there's like an air around him. I can't quite put my finger on. And you know, I'm gonna say something really problematic. I don't condone what Offset has done at all, but I'm like, you went from worst to worstest. I know worstest is not a word, or way worse, I should say. And I feel like for all that she's going through with Stefon, she might as well have stayed with Offset. And again, I don't condone men cheating. I don't condone how he crashed out. I don't condone how he treated her. But she's the one that decided to, you know, I'm not going to blame her. She wanted her marriage to work. She was fighting for her marriage. She was trying to keep her family together. I can totally empathize with that. But it's like, you knew who he was when you got with him. Like, as I remember when Cardi got with him, I was like, he's going to take her through it. I already knew, like, you know how you could just look at a man and be like, he ain't shit. Like, I could just tell he's not shit. That's the same energy I got with Stefon. I was like, okay, he's cute for the time being, but I was like, he's another Offset. I was like, he's like Offset 2.0, like XL Max Pro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he just gives ain't shit ass energy. Like, I'm gonna fuck bitches. I'm gonna be outside. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. Do what you're gonna do. Don't drag me through it. Don't drag me through the mud. Like, don't have me out here looking stupid. And as I was listening to the Stefon Diggs video, I was like, I'm so glad, I'm so thankful and so honored and so privileged that my husband would never put me through this. Like, he would never embarrass me like this. If he was going to do something like this, he would do it behind closed doors. But I'm also not a public figure. But I was just like, my husband has so much principle. He has so much respect for women. Just the way he treats his mom just lets me know off rip, like, my daughter's gonna be straight. Like, before we even really like took off in our relationship. But I'm like, I'm so glad he's an honest man. He's a hardworking man. He's faithful, and he's loyal to me, to our house, to the life that we've built together. I was like, he would never have me out here looking stupid like this. Like, he would never have me going back and forth on the internet. He don't even be on the internet like that. He be looking at other people's stuff, but he don't post nothing. Like, this man literally had like friend requests from like 8 years ago, just sitting in his queue. Like, and he was like, yeah, I'm just gonna leave it there. Like, he's so unproblematic. He stays out the way. He's so low key. And I love that about him. That's one of my favorite things about him. That's one of the most attractive traits that I think he has among others. But anyways, let me get to the lawsuit. So it says, in late December 2025, Diggs was charged with felony strangulation, which is crazy work. I was like, you should be safe at your job. You should be safe at work. or suffocation and misdemeanor assault and battery in Massachusetts. A private chef who worked for Diggs alleged that he became angry during a pay dispute on December 2nd, 2025, slapped her, crazy work, and attempted to choke her with his elbow. Could you imagine? Like, what if she died? Or what if she, like, started gasping for air? Or what if she, like, something else worse happened, like, to her physical well-being and safety? She claimed she had trouble breathing during the alleged altercation. Diggs' response. Through his attorneys, Diggs has categorically denied the allegations. Anytime a celebrity or a star or public figure says that, I know they did it. Whenever they say categorically, I'm like, that's some bullshit. They did it. Because I feel like Diddy did that. I feel like there's a whole bunch of other men that have done. Is it Trey Songz? There's some other ones. And somebody needs to do a deep dive on Trey Songz and all these assaults, because he's another one that I'm like, I'm really waiting for the documentary. I'm waiting for somebody to come forward. I'm waiting for, unfortunately, I wish I wasn't, but I'm waiting for the next Cassie Ventura to come out and really get Trey Songz for all that he's worth. Because I believe every single person, every single woman, every single victim that he's hurt. I really believe. I don't think it's coincidental. And the thing with people like that, predators like that, they have a pattern. They don't break their pattern. If you look at Diddy, he's a key example of that. Calling them unsubstantiated and claiming they stem from an unresolved employer-employee financial dispute. Diggs' arraignment, it's scheduled for this month. I don't think I knew that. It says status. Diggs' arraignment is scheduled for January 23rd, 2026, and his legal team has reportedly reached an agreement on a financial settlement with the alleged victim. The NFL is aware of the situation. And I didn't even think about this as I was watching Jesse's video until she said it. It says Diggs is involved in at least 2 complicated civil suits. So he has 2 other suits pending on top of this, plus the whole baby mama thing, plus being in a relationship with Cardi. I think I had heard about the second one. I vaguely remember hearing about this first one, but I want to touch on this one. Both of them. Hold on. Been talking for almost 30 minutes straight. So it says Diggs is involved in at least 2 complicated civil lawsuits. And Jesse brought this to my attention because I didn't even think about this. It says lawsuit with Christopher Blake Griffith. In October 2025, Diggs filed a libel lawsuit against social media influencer Christopher Blake Griffith, accusing him of fabricating a story for attention. Maybe he didn't. He was probably telling the truth. Griffith had alleged on social media that Diggs drugged, and attempted to sexually assault him in May 2023 and later conspired to have him killed. What? Why do I not remember this? Maybe I read it and it just went out of my mind. That's crazy. That's really scary. To me, that's really scary. This shows me that he's unstable. He's mentally unwell. Like, I don't know. I can't. Griffith subsequently filed a countersuit for sexual battery. I hope he wins. I hope he gets money, and I hope he wins and he's able to move on with his life, and I hope he's able to heal. Lawsuit with Mulan Hernandez, who I remember from Basketball Wives. I thought she was such a baddie. She almost reminded me of Crystal Kills from Black Ink Crew, if y'all remember her. Her real name is Mia Jones, Mulan. I remember her on Basketball Wives. I didn't really watch Basketball Wives Orlando. I think I tried to watch it and I couldn't get into it, but I know she also plays in the WNBA, if I'm not mistaken. So it says in February 2025, Diggs filed a lawsuit against his former girlfriend, reality TV personality Mulan Hernandez, alleging assault and attempted extortion. He claimed she destroyed property at his home and tried to extort millions of dollars from him. Hernandez filed a counterclaim in October 2025, alleging that Diggs physically assaulted her and attempted to force her to sign a non-disclosure agreement, NDA, to keep the incident from the NFL in public view. And with the chef incident, it said that he flew his assistant to Houston to try to get her to sign an NDA as well. So it's like he's trying to cover up his tracks. He's trying to cover up his shitty behavior. But it's like, no, I'm not about to be silent. I'm about to make some waves. I'm about to ruffle your feathers because you ruffle mine first, bitch. Like, I can't. I just was kind of like looking, like I don't know if I really heard of him. I think I did hear of him a little bit with the baby mama stuff. But I remember when Cardi first popped out with him and I was like, something does not sit right with me. I was like, he's about to take her through it. Like, he's really about to take her through it. And I was like, she thinks she aged, she thinks she won. But I was like, this man is just as problematic as the one that you left. Like, I think it would have been fine. I actually thought it was fine that she was kind of getting her lick back on Offset. I was like, okay, she popping out. She being loved on. She being spoiled. Like, I love that for her. But then I was like, when she popped up pregnant, I was so disappointed in her because I was like, girl, you wasn't supposed to get pregnant. You supposed to let him clap them cheeks and then move on about your day and go get your bag and go be there for your kids. Like, I know she's a great mom, but I'm just like, I don't understand what was she thinking? She wasn't. And I was just like, okay. But I I'm just kind of side-eyeing him because I'm like, buddy, what are you doing? Why are you acting like this outside of the court? Why do you not have any discipline? Why do you not move accordingly? Why do you not move? And you know what else I hate? I hate that I think that like Cardi kind of like touted him as like this good guy. And I'm like, he screams bad boy. He screams fuck boy to me. He screams, I ain't about shit. I ain't gonna ever be about shit. And it's like, if you're gonna be on that type of time, that's fine. I already know what it is. I can make an informed decision as a grown ass woman or not if I want to continue moving forward. But now she's gonna be tethered to this man for the rest of her life. And two, I don't think they're gonna work. I don't think they're gonna work out. I think they're gonna be broken up. Probably by summer, the end of this year, another year, if that. But it was just disturbing because I was like, there's a pattern. Like he has, what I'm picking up is like, he has a temper. And if you don't just go with what he says or do what he does, then I think that's when he flares up. And I'm like, that gives me pause for Cardi and their child. Cause I'm like, will he do that to her if she says or does something he doesn't like? And I'm like, she's very mouthy. She's very spicy. So I'm like, okay, again, not defending Cardi because I know she's done some problematic stuff, but just thinking from the outside looking in. But Jessie made a really good point in her video. She was like, I know a lot of athletes, and she was like, a lot of like ball players, she was like, they don't ever like actually pay people that work for them. She was like, they pay in dick. And I was like, that actually makes sense to me because I think she was reading the police report that was filed with a lawsuit. I can't remember which document. And she was like, the incident where he had choked the chef out, it was in a bedroom. So I was like, the first thing I thought was, are they dealing with each other like in a sexual way or romantic way? And I was like, even if they were, that still doesn't excuse his behavior. His behavior, wrong is wrong. Okay? Like, I don't care if we fucking, I don't care if we fuck buddies, I don't care if we're friends with benefits, I don't care if we have a mutual agreement, I don't care if I'm a side piece. Putting your hands on someone like that is wrong, especially when I'm working for you. And I think it said that he never paid her the entire contract. I was like, again, I'm not trying to victim blame. Bro, if someone has one time to not pay me for my work, I'm gone. Like, I'm not going to continue working for you and giving you my services and giving you my labor and my creativity and my brain power. And you're just taking advantage of me. But I was like, understand too, maybe they thought, oh, maybe the woman thought, okay, maybe this is a one-time occurrence. Sometimes shit like that does happen. Like, there's been a time or two where my boss has been late paying me, but I knew she was good for it because my boss, she's very ethical, she's very moral, like, and she'll let you know, like, if I think I reached out to her and she's like, oh, I'm submitting payroll to my accountant right now. Like, she don't play about that. She's very timely, she's communicative, like, she keeps that line of communication open, and she's a very honest person. Like, that's one thing I really, really absolutely adore about her. And she's right there in the trenches with you. Like, not that type of boss that's like, do as I say, not as I do type of thing. Like, she's right there with you, working just as hard, if not harder. She cares about her people. But Jessie was saying that a lot of ball players don't, and she was like, it's not too far off that people that work for them tend to live with them. Like, she called it like servants' quarters, which I kind of understood, because I was like, I guess if you're going to be at my house every day or every other day, or for long stretches of time, then it will probably be beneficial instead of having you drive back and forth or commute back and forth, especially if you don't even live within the state or what have you. But I don't know. I was like, you have one time to not pay me. I'm sorry, but that's what I feel like a lot of abusive people in power do. They what was I watching? She was talking about, I think it was Between Two Worlds with Yanni. I was watching a Natalie Nunn breakdown video of her interview with Cam Newton. And she was saying that Natalie Nunn was trafficking women on the Zeus network. And I was like, that actually makes sense, like baddies. She was like, she was talking about like yacht boys and yacht girls and stuff like that. But she was saying how someone like a Natalie Nunn is like the predator. She's like the pimp, and she makes all the people underneath of her do all the work, and she collects the money. But it's kind of like the similar dynamic. Like, you do something for me and I reap the benefit of it, but I don't compensate you. I don't treat you well. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm not too surprised by Stefon Diggs' lawsuit. It's been one thing after another with him. And I was like, Cardi is steady defending this man. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, and the thing is, I noticed he doesn't really like post her that much. Like, she's always online, sounding off. Maybe not sounding off is the wrong word, but you know what I mean? She's always, I think sometimes he posts her and stuff like that, but I think it almost reminds me of Mariah the Scientist with Young Thug. Mariah is constantly posting Thug. She's constantly big upping him, but I don't ever see that favor return as much, like in volume. You know what I'm saying? It's uneven, it's imbalanced, it's unequal. That's what I think. They're unequally yoked. That's the best way I want to describe it. But yeah, hold on one second, guys. So I wanted to talk about another lawsuit. I'm sorry, I'm kind of all over the place. The Tyler Perry one. Bro, I was not surprised by the Tyler Perry one. This is like the second or third one that I remember, because I remember the one from last year and I was just like, I think he did it. Like, I literally think he did it. Okay, so let's talk about Tyler Perry's. I think the Jesse Wu video also touched on this as well. So it says, Tyler Perry faces multiple sexual assault lawsuits, notably from actors Mario Rodriguez seeking $77 million after Boo, a Madea Halloween, and Derek Dixon seeking $260 million from the Oval era, alleging unwanted advances, assault, and professional retaliation, with Perry's legal team vehemently denying the claims as extortion and money grabs. Again, patterns. Tyler Perry has a clear pattern. Both lawsuits describe similar patterns of alleged grooming and abuse of power by Perry, who denies wrongdoing, with his attorney calling them financially motivated scams. Again, this totally reminds me of Blink Twice, but in real life, like in real time. So key allegations and lawsuits. And something else I want to say, I think Derek Dixon's lawsuit, if I remember reading it correctly, was like saying that Tyler Perry would have him over his house alone, the same way that Will Smith did with Brian Joseph King. And I was like, that's creepy to me. That's another thing I'm saying, like access. Celebrities or public figures need to be more mindful about who they let have access to them. Like, if I'm meeting a fan on the street, I'm not inviting you to my house. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Like, unless I maybe knew you from before then, but even then, I think I have to have a line. I can't cross that line. For me, it just wouldn't feel right. I need to keep you in the context, or the, maybe not the box, but the light or the lens that I originally met you in. Like, I can't shift it or change it too much. For me, it just would like kind of offset the balance or the nature of the relationship, you know? Okay, so it says key allegations and lawsuits. Mario Rodriguez lawsuit, December 2025. Claims repeated sexual assault and battery by Perry at his home after being cast in Boo, a Madea Halloween 2016. Seeks $77 million in damages. Maybe I need to get more. Oh. Okay. So then, hold on. Ooh, so Derek Dixon lawsuit, June 2025. Oh, this is in the same year. You know what? I keep forgetting that it's 2026. My bad, y'all. So this was like 6 months apart. One was in June, one was in December. That's very telling to me, and I wouldn't be shocked if there were more victims. So Derek Dixon lawsuit, June 2025, alleges sexual harassment, assault, and retaliation while working on The Oval and Ruthless from 2019 to 2021. Claims Perry tied his character's fate to reciprocating advances and offered to help with Dixon's own show in exchange for silence. Seeks $260 million in damages. That's disgusting, bro. So it's like his job security, his employment. Same thing, not exactly, but Brian Joseph King, like, his livelihood was threatened. And it's like, what do you do in that situation? You want to work. There's this powerful figure that can either make or break you. One call and they can end everything for you. They can blacklist you. Kind of like how he did with Monique. I know it's not the same context, but that's really scary to me. I think I was like, even though I'm not on the same level and I haven't experienced anything to that magnitude, like I told you guys at the beginning of this video, I was very in fear of losing my job, in fear of maybe them taking away work, maybe docking my pay or retaliating, like bullying me or something like that. And I definitely experienced that so many different times. And it's a terrifying position to be in. It's a vulnerable position to be in. I don't wish that on anyone. Like, it's very scary to not know how you're going to eat. And then it's like, you don't know who knows who. What if you leave that job and go to another company that's in that same industry? You know, people be rubbing elbows. People have those connections. They have those ties. And it can either make or break you. So, oh my God. Let me look up this Mario Rodriguez lawsuit. Hold on. Is this CBS? Okay, hold on. Wait, that's the wrong one. Hold on, because I wanted to read it too, because I feel like it was kind of light. Let me see. Is it text? Where's the original article? Okay, I think this was it. Oh, wow. I think Tyler Perry did it. And also, I feel like Tyler Perry is also very problematic as well. I feel like the Black community has put him on this pedestal and this pillar, and like he can't be knocked off or he can't be brought back down to human level. I also think his content is really problematic. Ooh, that looks like a good article. I'm sorry, I might have just came up with another video idea. But I feel like he's another one. I stopped watching his content a long time ago just because I feel like he hates black women and he makes a caricature of us. And not all black women suffer. Not all black women undergo trauma, and not all black women have to settle for ain't shit ass men, or just. I feel like his content is like trauma porn. I'm gonna say it. I'm sorry. Like, I don't even think it's original. I think he feeds into a lot of negative and tired tropes, and that reflects on how people think of us. I've had white people approach me and be like, "Oh, you guys are not like this," because they're watching his content, and it's just like, no, bitch, I'm not. Like, I'm a fully fleshed human being. I'm a fully developed human being. I experience joy. I experience trauma. I experience happiness. I experience gratitude. I experience happy moments, sad moments, just like anyone else. I'm human, just like you. Okay, so let's look at this one. Okay. So it says Tyler Perry's lawyer calls $77 million lawsuit a money grab scam as new texts between accuser and star surface. Texts allegedly exchanged between Perry and Mario Rodriguez, who is suing the director on claims of alleged sexual assault, appear to show Rodriguez reaching out to the director and sharing his financial troubles. No, I want the original lawsuit. Okay, hold on. Okay, so I'm gonna read some of this because some of this is kind of all over the place. Okay, so on Thursday, December 25th, Christmas, that's wild. He must have been waiting. He must have had that in the chamber, and I don't blame him. Rodriguez filed a lawsuit against the filmmaker and media mogul 56 in California, alleging that Perry sexually assaulted him and made unwanted sexual advances with the promise of roles. That's it, because he dangled a carrot that he knew he wanted. He wanted to eat. He wanted to bite. I hate that. Rodriguez, a model who landed a minor role in Perry's 2016 movie Boo, A Madea Halloween, is seeking $77 million in damages. Oh, wow. Okay, hold on 1 second. Okay, hold on. There's some text going back and forth. I'm trying to get to the main point. Okay, so though Rodriguez claims to have stopped talking to Perry except for occasional outreach from the director, a source tells people that Rodriguez continued to reach out to Perry with the texts viewed by people apparently sent in November 2024 and August 2025. Oh, I thought it was saying something else. Okay, hold on. Okay. Oh, I guess that doesn't look the best because it's, you know what else? I know this isn't exactly the same. It kind of reminds me of the whole Lizzo thing. Remember I did a video, it was Asha Daniels, I think it was. I might have gotten her last name, or Asha Daniel. I think it was Asha Daniels. When she said that Lizzo's team basically bullied her and created like a harsh working environment. This is not the original article, but I don't know. Let me see if I can fucking find it. Hold on. Let's see if I can find it, because I wanted to. Okay, was this the 26 one? Okay, hold on. Okay. Yes, so this is what I wanted to talk about. I'm sorry, because that article I don't think really showed it. Let me move this. Sorry, my little attention span. Tyler Perry sued by another aspiring actor alleging sexual assault and seeking $77 million in damages. And when I read this, I was not surprised. Like, the first time I read this, I was like, okay. And Jesse Wu made a good point. Tyler Perry has a type. He definitely does. He chooses like light-skinned or mixed guys, or non-black men, or if they are black, they're mixed, is what I'm seeing. I definitely think he has a very specific type. And even if she's right, even if you look at his shows, he casts very a specific type of man a lot of the time. Okay. Let's see. Let me go down a little bit. Okay. In the lawsuit obtained by People, Rodriguez claims in 2015 he was approached by a trainer while at a Los Angeles gym who said Perry wanted to meet him. How did Perry find out who he was? Like, how did he see him? How did he first set eyes on him? Because I'm curious. I'm like, why would Tyler Perry be at a gym? If anything, doesn't Tyler Perry have like basically a compound? So how is he out and about at a gym when he probably has like 10 gyms on property? Like, to me, that makes sense. That's what I'm saying. Celebrities be out and about. Like, not to say that they can't do normal things like go to the gym, go to the grocery store, but I'm like, you're the Tyler Perry. So I'm thinking, what is he doing in a space like that? You're intentionally going there with a purpose or a goal in mind. And to me, that's really fucking fishy, and that's weird. That's sketch. Because if I'm probably at his level, I probably don't want to be bothered. I probably don't want to go out in public because I know it's going to be a debacle. Unless I know I have money to like shut the restaurant down or get private seating or private, whatever I'm doing, get some privacy in there. That just strikes me as really weird. That's why I'm saying, why would you send, and then they like have these handlers, I don't even want to put quotes around it. They have these handlers or these people that do their bidding for them, just like with Stefon Diggs is his assistant. And it's like, I was actually wondering, I was like, is his assistant a woman? I was like, that'd be the worst part, when it's other women helping these abusive ass men continue to abuse and throw their weight around. That's so weird to me. So it says, Rodriguez said Perry soon spoke to him over the phone and offered him a small role in the Madea Halloween film. And what's weird to me is that I think in Jesse's video, it said that Mario Rodriguez said that Tyler Perry called him the same day that he sent a representative to go talk to him. Why is Tyler Perry calling a regular guy? Like, and Jesse made a good point too. She was like, his casting team is so on point that Tyler Perry is like beyond that. Like, that's not beneath him, but beneath him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has employed people to do that. So I'm like, you have a whole team of people and you're still out here scouting and recruiting people. That's odd to me. You were seeking him out. Like, I'm sorry, it just looks very red flaggish to me. Okay. The complaint alleges multiple instances when Perry would invite Rodriguez over to his home under the guise of discussing future work projects. That's misleading and manipulative as fuck. Whatever you gotta say, you can call my agent, you can call my manager. Don't talk directly to me. I understand now. I used to think it was weird when celebrities would be like, you have to call my team, like to work with another artist. Like, especially musicians, they'd be like, oh, you gotta call my team and work out the details, because it can get, like Jesse said, those lines can get very blurred. And then once you cross it, you can't uncross it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't go back. And he knows that he's hungry. He knows that he wants more opportunities, that he wants to eat. So what better lie than to say, hey, I can give you a role if you just come over. No, you have to give me the role off of merit and talent and hard work. You can't just, that's so creepy to me. Only to make sexual advances while drinking. In November 2018, Perry allegedly grabbed Rodriguez's penis, and Rodriguez repeatedly told Mr. Perry to stop, and Rodriguez had to physically struggle to get away. Perry allegedly would tell Rodriguez to let it happen, and if you were to just be with me, I would take care of you. Rodriguez's lawsuit claims that after 2 incidents, Perry allegedly apologized, handing him $5,000 and sent him away. It almost gives like pimp prostitute. Like, that's kind of what he gives me. And my thing is, if Tyler Perry is gay, if he's bi, whatever you want to call it, then be gay. Like, no one's gonna care. No one is literally going to care. Like, it's 2025 or 2026 now. So many celebrities are gay. So many celebrities are out living their best lives. He could totally be out. If he just like lived in his truth and stopped abusing his power and manipulating people, he would be fine. Like, I'm telling you. At a final alleged encounter in April 2019, more than ever before, it was clear that Mr. Perry would do whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted, to whomever he wanted, no matter how many times he was rejected. The lawsuit claims Perry would randomly reach out to Rodriguez through 2024, and when Perry became aware that Rodriguez was going to file this action, Perry once again reached out to Rodriguez by text, telling him he did so much to help Rodriguez and he was feeling betrayed. That's him like deflecting, but it's also gaslighting, but it's also flipping the narrative. Like, he is flipping it on him, victim blaming in a sense, or victim shaming, or making himself, he's victimizing himself, and that takes away from the experience that the victim actually went through, which is really problematic. In a December 13th Instagram video, Rodriguez spoke about feeling scared and ashamed, explaining why he hadn't previously come forward, though he did not mention Perry by name in the post, just a powerful director that everyone knows. I stayed quiet for much too long, and I just want to say I'm really sorry, man, because if I would have spoken up sooner, I could have saved somebody that this probably happened to after me. And again, there's like a string of victims, and my thing is, they tend to keep the same victims in their pipeline, in their chamber, almost like a P. Diddy. They just kind of cycle through the same people over and over again, because they know that they can victimize them, and they have broken them down so much that they're just gonna succumb to it, almost like a Gina Huynh, who was one of P. Diddy's most notorious victims. He said, I just want to say sorry for that, whoever that may be. It could have stopped with me if I would have said something, but I'm speaking up now, and I'm proud of him for saying something now. Oh God, it's crazy. And I hate how they immediately try to gaslight the victim, but also shush the victim by saying, oh, it's a money grab, oh, it's categorically false. Like, no, bitch, you did do something. Even if it wasn't the entire time, you did something that clearly made this person uncomfortable and silenced them. You took away their voice, you took away their power and their agency, and that's problematic in and of itself. No amount of money can fix that, unfortunately. So let me go back. Hold on one second. So I put into Google, why do celebrities abuse their power? And it says celebrities may abuse their power due to a combination of psychological factors, the corrupting influence of power itself, and systemic issues within the entertainment industry that enable such behavior and shield them from accountability. And that's exactly what it is. So it says psychological and individual factors, narcissism and lack of empathy. They have this grand sense of self. They have a huge ego. Nobody's telling them no. They're on top of the world. They're on that pedestal, like I said earlier. Narcissism and lack of empathy. Individuals with narcissistic traits or low empathy are more likely to abuse power because they value their own desires above others and dismiss the pain they inflict, which is kind of what I feel like Tyler Perry's team is doing with saying, oh, it's categorically false, it's just a money grab, it's a scam. No, it's not a scam. Something obviously happened, and I would love to know the truth. I would love to see some receipts. I would love to see documentation. I would love to see something. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if there was way more victims and they're just not coming forward. Like, I really wouldn't be. Exception making. Power can lead individuals to believe they are special and that normal rules do not apply to them, a phenomenon called exception making. Distorted sense of reality. Constant adulation, which is basically like worship and praise, and living in a bubble can create an inaccurate sense of reality where public figures lose touch with their authentic selves and struggle to maintain a grounded perspective, which I definitely think is true. I don't care how much fucking money I make. I don't care how fucking visible I am. I'm still going to try to remain true to myself and be as humble, because I have a lot of people around me that would check me and get in my ass if I even thought a shred like these people do. But for me, I just move accordingly, and I definitely believe your character speaks for itself. The way that you treat other people, your heart, that's really the biggest thing. Money can't buy that. Money can't buy a good person. I don't care what nobody says. So it says imposter phenomenon / insecurity. Some celebrities may struggle with the imposter phenomenon, believing their success is due to luck rather than talent. This insecurity can contribute to a constant need for external validation and a focus on personal attributes rather than accomplishments. And my thing is, these people don't need to do this to get someone. Like, they're so well known and so beloved, like outside of the abuse, obviously, that I think it's kind of weird that they have to like go and seek out someone. But they're looking for a very specific victim. They're looking for someone that they can mold, that they can break, that they can bend. You know what I'm saying? Systemic and cultural factors. Culture of silence and enablers. The entertainment industry often has a culture of silence and open secrets, where enablers and people who profit from celebrities help cover up misbehavior, making it difficult for victims to come forward. Usually it isn't infrastructure. Usually it is a whole network. We saw this with R. Kelly. We saw this with P. Diddy. I'm not sure about Harvey Weinstein, but it wouldn't shock me, or Weinstein. I don't know how to say his name. But it's not just them by themselves. We even see it with Stephon Diggs. I mean, we don't know if it's a whole network, but we see they usually have someone that's helping to facilitate this. Even with Tyler Perry, he had sent someone to the gym to kind of basically be like, hey, it kind of reminds me of like you being in the club and a guy like a baller or an athlete or, you know, a rapper or whatever, sends their bodyguard or whatever over and is like, come over here because old boy want to talk to you. It kind of gives like that type of tease. So what was I gonna say? Wealth and influence as a shield, which I definitely believe it is. It also insulates them, so it protects them in a way that it doesn't protect the average person. Celebrity status and wealth can protect individuals from immediate repercussions, allowing them to escape punishment or receive lighter sentences when caught. Definitely feel like that's P. Diddy's case. He only got 4 years. The bitch should have got 40. I said what I said. He need to be underneath the jail. I'm not sorry. Power dynamics. The high demand for entertainment jobs puts industry insiders in positions of immense power over aspiring individuals, which again we see with Tyler Perry, which can be easily corrupted and leveraged for personal gain, such as demanding sexual favors or other inappropriate actions. They want to see what you're going to do. I almost feel like that's a test. They want to see what you're going to do and how far you're willing to go, and then they just keep pushing that envelope, pushing that needle. It kind of reminds me of in Lurker and almost in Blink Twice. Like, you just keep pushing and pushing and pushing until the person it becomes unrecognizable to themselves and anyone around them. Societal idolization. Society's obsession with celebrity culture and the media can lead to public figures being idolized to the point where they are no longer viewed or treated as normal human beings, which is what I said earlier, is that God complex, which can fuel a sense of invincibility. These factors combine to create an environment where the abuse of power can occur and persist largely unchallenged for extended periods. Again, R. Kelly, P. Diddy, clear point right there. Sorry, I was going to read y'all this Psychology Today article. Hold on. Okay, this is a very small article, so I'm going to read this real quick, and then I'm going to try to wrap this up because this was much longer than I thought it would be. I just thought this was interesting. And this is my first time reading this too. So it says, why celebrities and the wealthy think they are above the law, the psychology of entitlement. And this was written July 7th, 2019. So it says, we read about it all the time. Wealthy individuals or celebrities who engage in outrageous and often illegal behavior, believing that they can easily get away with it, and they often do. A lot of this is about the dynamics of power and the way we afford power and a sort of celebrity to wealthy people. Famous and wealthy people can become intoxicated by the power and prestige that come with their celebrity status, which I definitely, again, think happened with P. Diddy. They snap their fingers and a slew of attendants jump to their every command. Their extraordinary power leads them to believe that they are special and that the rules that apply to everyone else simply don't apply to them. Leadership scholar and philosopher Terry Price calls this exception making, which is what I just talked about earlier. Celebrities begin to believe that they should get a free pass that allows them to misbehave. If they do get caught, their celebrity or money can help them escape punishment or get a slap on the wrist. Here's a list called celebrities who should have gone to jail. Ooh, can I click on this? Who is it? Oh, it says page not found. Okay, I was being nosy, y'all. Sorry. Even when the rich or famous go to jail, they are given lighter sentences or sent to luxury prisons. What is the antidote to the poisoning effect of celebrity and power? It is humility. What did I just say earlier? I'm telling you. Celebrities and powerful people need to realize that power and fame do not excuse them from following the law or societal standards. Many powerful and famous people do not become intoxicated by power and are able to keep their feet on the ground. What? Hold on. Oh, okay. So they're saying examples of that. I'm sorry. Think of Warren Buffett, Apple's Tim Cook, and celebrities Tom Hanks and Keanu Reeves, who are powerful yet humble. They realize that if it weren't for a good deal of luck, they wouldn't be where they are now. And I definitely agree with that. Like, it's so crazy. Like, I don't know. It's like really sad that this is still happening. And I was like, damn, like we can't even go into the whole month or let alone a week or 2 weeks without some crazy shit happening. I know most of this kind of like stemmed from like the end of last year going into this year, but unfortunately, I believe all these lawsuits. I don't think that the victims are making it up. I think that there is some merit to it. I think that there is definitely a lot of truth to it. I definitely think that people think that they can shush people with money, shush people with opportunities, or whether that be for work, whether that be for visibility, whether that be for fame, whatever the case may be. I think it's definitely dangerous. And I think we need to take a more critical look at who we're worshiping or who we're idolizing or supporting, because honestly, we don't know these people. I think that's one of the biggest messages that I kept getting when I was thinking about what I was going to say for this video. Like, we don't know these people. And, you know, the persona that they put out, of course, they want us to love them. They want us to absorb their product, which is them, but they also want us to put money in their pockets. You know, they're selling something, they want us to buy it. They have to have a certain image or a certain reputation for us to buy into it and to buy their products and to continue funneling millions and millions, or billions in some cases, dollars into their pockets. It's really sad that this is still happening. It doesn't surprise me. Even me being a writer, I'm like, I'm sure there's shit in the writing industry or the literary industry that is just crazy. I mean, I told y'all the thing I went through with the scamming of the writers retreat like last fall. You know, that was really hard for me to deal with because I was like, how did I not see this coming? I think I felt it and something was off of my spirit, but I was trying to be optimistic. I was trying to think outside the box. But even me, I got in some sense, but I was like, thank God I removed myself from the situation and I had my walls up and I had my boundaries up. But it was still really fucking sad that people prey on people who actually do have gifts, who do have talents and want to do something and contribute something meaningful to the world, and can't because of people like this who abuse their power and know that they're abusing it and don't even care. My prayer is that every last victim who is suing actually is believed, actually is awarded whatever they're asking for, and I hope that this is a big ass payday for them. I really do. And I would pray that these predators are not doing this anymore, but I'm not delusional. I wouldn't be shocked if more lawsuits came out. And I don't know, something has to give. I just wonder how you can change someone who's been operating from that place like that. Like, it's probably really hard to stop once you've been doing it for so long. And then like once you get your first taste of it, how do you stop? Your hunger, your appetite becomes much more insatiable. But anyways, I know I talked your guys' ear off. I think what I'm going to do, my thought is maybe to drop one video a week because I feel like that's more manageable. Like I said, in a couple of weeks, I think like 2 weeks from today, I'm going to be starting classes again. I actually started a new job, so I'm like, girl, I'm not gonna have time to do shit. Maybe a little bit into early February, depending on how I feel. But girl, I don't know. Let me know what you think. Do you believe the victims? Do you think that they're going to get awarded what they deserve? Do you think that they're going to get even? Maybe they'll settle. Maybe that's something that's better than nothing. I mean, settling sucks, but it's better than $0 and 0 cents and having all those lawyer fees. Do you believe that we need to be more mindful about celebrity behavior and I think the biggest thing is like separating the artist from the art, because I'm very big on that, or I try to be, but it's hard because again, they're presenting a certain persona or a representation or a facade or an image. Like you really don't know. Like, how can you really tell? I do think some people have a certain energy and they admit it, and you can kind of tell and you can kind of feel it, especially like listen more when they're speaking, listen more how they're moving, look at what they're not doing, look at what they are doing, look at the type of people that they have around them. I think that that's a very clear indicator, and I think we as a society need to do a better job of discerning, but we also need to be mindful about who we put on a pedestal, and just realizing that these celebrities are people just like us. They just have way more access, power, and wealth and influence, but they're still human at the end of it all. But I don't support any of the abusers. I said what I said. And yeah, I think that's the end of this video, guys. Let me know what you think. I hated to have to record this, but it was just on my spirit. So anyways, I'll see you guys later. Love you. Bye.